Welcome back to the ESL India Premiership, Day 17 of the Masters League summer season. I am your host Aditya, and joining me again on the studio is Angela, the resident Dota 2 lover and expert and fanatic, and I'm running out of terms right now, verbs, adjectives, whatever they're called at this point. But yes, today is the Delhi Derby, by the way, the Delhi Derby, Alpha Esports versus Buriza. What do you think? How are you, and what do you think?
I think this is going to be, I would say, a more worrisome game for me for Alpha Esports, because they are sitting as of now 12th on the board. They have not secured any victories till now, and if they continue on the same path, they will head into promotion relegation rounds, which I really don't want them to see.
Oh, they'll just drop out, by the way. Sorry, there's no promotion relegation.
Okay, so
the bottom 4 of the Masters just drop out, and the top 4 of the Challengers 3 will come up.
Well, that's even more worrisome then, because Alpha, if you're hearing this, you gotta buck up, you gotta like start building your way at least another few points above the 4 lowest slots, so that you can secure yourself into the fall season Master League. But Team Buriza, on the other side, boot camp going great for them. They are from Delhi. They're doing pretty fine. I think Buriza in general and Buriza Youth, both these teams have been like 5th and 6th on the board. They're doing pretty fine for themselves. They can continue this performance. We will definitely see, I think, both of them on the land finale.
Okay, let's first take a look at Alpha Esports. So that's Alpha Esports for you, the team that needs to buck up and get off the bottom of the table. Let's quickly look at Buriza as well. So that's Team Buriza, 6th on the table, correct? Yeah. And I think the draft is already live, so I think we should get it up on the screen. While you talk about anything else you had to add about Buriza and Alpha.
I mean, Alpha in general, as far as I've watched their previous games, they like to play the 5-man push, take down the towers very early in the game, maybe in the first 15 minutes. They always like to pick heroes that can either split push or push together, like the Shadow Shaman, the Venomancer, the Lycan, Tide, all these heroes. I mean, they're very good at the mid-game scenario. So if they opt to go with that kind of combination, they could mostly follow their old strat. But because they're at the bottom of the leaderboard and it's a little worrisome, maybe they could also change their gameplay. And getting into the draft, as of now, we see Alpha Esports have decided to ban out the Kunkka, the DK, the Dark Willow, the OD, and the Viper. Meanwhile, Team Buriza going to ban out the Elder Titan, Timbersaw, Brewmaster, and Tinker. They're going to opt to pick up the Sand King and the Terrorblade. Now, the Terrorblade fares pretty well for them. They like it. They also indirectly mean that they're going to be trying to do a split push over here. They could send the Sand King in the off lane. Meanwhile, on the other end, we see Alpha Esports. They are going to pick up the Witch Doctor. Very good 4th role support coming in from them. They could also opt to go for the Shadow Shaman or the Earth Spirit as a secondary support. They're going to send that Beastmaster in the off lane against the heavy duty tri lane, and that's going to be a Terrorblade with another secondary support. So picking up the Beast, a good option. Not really seen him that much as of now in the ESL India Premiership, and he very well can scout with his bird and also make sure that he gets those needed levels from the neutral creeps right next door. So he's going to be faring fine for himself. For now, we see
I have a question.
Yes.
Why is Razor banned every time I see a game? Because I've always thought of Razor as a noob hero, like, you know, noob-friendly hero.
Razor is actually pretty strong. Nowadays, he is sent in the mid lane, and basically his ultimate is it damages buildings. So it damages the towers and it takes it down really quick. Also, the secondary skill of Razor is basically where if he connects to you, he steals damage from you that he can use.
That's been there for a while, right?
That's been for a while.
From the start, because I used to play as Razor when I Razor or Drow Ranger or Sniper when in my 100 drunken hours of Dota 2.
All the noob-friendly heroes.
Yeah, exactly. That's what, like, the noob-friendly heroes. That's why I thought that's why it's very surprising for somebody like me to see you know, Razor being banned every time, because it's generally every game. I didn't think he was so important that he has to be banned out.
Well,
That's
he
all.
is actually in nowadays meta because the games end within the first 20 minutes.
Yeah.
I would. This is an observation, a personal observation, that if you have a hero that's basically stealing damage from your carry in 20 minutes, you basically cannot make any item that's going to be larger in damage compared to what Razor has stolen from you. And that can be very devastating if you're the carry of the other team, because you're doing lesser damage, you're getting extra damage, and there's not really much you can fare around it. You are going to lose the fight. And
Okay.
plus, he can take down buildings. So as soon as you're done with your 4v5 fight, you're going to just move ahead and start destroying more barracks. And that's a risk that no team really wants to fight against.
Is that the Earthshaker on Alpha Esports?
Yes, that is the
And
Earthshaker.
I also noticed that Buriza's third pickup, whatever that is, was really quick, by the way.
I think
Like, they didn't take any time. Like, it was like literally 1 second and then they just picked him.
I think that Buriza has come in with a very steady lineup. They know what they want to play in this meta, and especially in this game, they want to make sure that they do make it to the land finale. Being on the 6th slot, I think only the top 4 teams get invited, and they got to make sure that they take down this game quick and easy. And that's why the Abaddon fares very well. He's going to be in the off lane against the super hard tri lane. As now I look at the tri lane, it is pretty devastating. I mean, they have a Witch Doctor and Earthshaker. They're going to pick up something like the Gyrocopter, in my opinion. And if they do that, then the Abaddon is mainly just going to be there when the creeps reach his tower. Otherwise, he can just go and farm NCs. And that's mostly their plan. Nowadays, teams do like to pick up offlaners, which kind of can get more farm in the jungle more than standing in the lane, because supports have learned a better way to kind of manage creeps. And as I say that the mid lane for Alpha Esports get picked up here, it's going to be the Death Prophet coming in there from Alpha Esports. Now, they look very tanky. They also look like the kind of combination where once that Blink Dagger becomes available on the Earthshaker, there's not really much Buriza can say to it unless they destroy the Earthshaker a lot before that Blink Dagger. While Alpha is looking to take this game in a 5-man complete push strat, like I mentioned before, they want to really take down those outer towers, build that momentum for their team, take down maybe the Terrorblade once in a while. But looking at the Terrorblade also, I would have preferred if they wouldn't have taken the Earthshaker, maybe picked up something like an Ancient Apparition or an Oracle, because if he's going to get to sunder any of these heroes, he's basically going to just come back to full HP.
That's one thing Earthshaker is the only hero on Alpha Esports currently who has a stun.
Who has a stun? No, the Witch Doctor also has a stun. The Beastmaster has his ultimate. That's also a stun.
Okay,
so
yeah.
also
So never mind.
yeah.
So now I can understand why
Yeah.
you're saying they could have picked up something else instead of the Earthshaker.
True. And Team Buriza, meanwhile, nice pickup coming in there. They're going to pick up the Winter Variant as of now, and that also means that that Terrorblade is not going to die. He has an Abaddon who's going to keep giving him HP. He has a Winter who's going to heal him. He also has a Sand King to make sure that if everything else goes wrong for him, the Sand King is there to save the day. So Buriza are looking very strong in this draft. For the last 2 bans, we see Queen of Pain getting banned out there from Alpha Esports. Razor being the last ban as of now. Team Buriza got to still ban out one last hero, mostly a mid. They don't really want to give Alpha the Gyrocopter, and they're going to quickly ban that out. One of the top picks for Alpha Esports is the Gyrocopter, which also makes me think about what do they want to go with this. They could opt to go for a Lycan and maybe secure the lane for themselves. Also, they can push fast with the Lycan, but Team Buriza ending their draft for now with an Omni Knight. So it's going to be an Omni Knight going in the off lane. Buriza's lineup makes me a little questionable on where is the burst damage coming from, because they have a lot of tank, they have a lot of sustainability.
They don't have a traditional mid player, right, Buriza?
I mean, they don't have a traditional mid hero. They could maybe send the Omni Knight mid, but it's not a traditional hero. I mean, now when we talk about traditional heroes, we have the Queen of Pain, we have Storm Spirit, we have Puck, we have Templar Assassin. But Alpha going to end their draft with the Void. They look pretty sustainable. They have the damage and the burst available for themselves. But Buriza, they have too much sustainability. And even if Alpha finishes using all their spells, I still see Buriza, especially the Terrorblade, standing very strong in the fights. Okay. And that's something Alpha needs to be a little bit careful about, because if they're going to just jump in as they plan on and it doesn't succeed, they're going to be on a very back foot in the fights.
So what would your prediction be for this game?
I think Buriza will just sustain longer, and that would be the only reason why I would think that this game could end in about 30 minutes. And Terrorblade, if he gets the right farm within the first 18-20 minutes, I don't think Alpha will be able to handle the push coming in for them.
All right, so there we have it. Our casters, Vivek and Floki, are ready for you. So let's just get into this game and see who wins this Delhi Derby.
Hello folks, and welcome back to the ESL India Premiership. This is the summer season, day 17, and we've got Alpha facing off versus Team Buriza. My name is Vivek, with me is Floki. And Team Buriza, they've had their ups and downs here. They did have a particularly rough game to start off their run in the Masters League versus Signify. But they've got a win under their belt as well versus Aksuki.
Yep.
Floki, you had a day full of casting. You casted MPGL.
Yeah.
And an Indian team gets a slot in an international tournament. A lot at stake, but surprisingly not too many people tuning in. What were some of your key takeaways from earlier in the day?
Well, I don't really know why people would not tune in for that. In fact, I think this was one of the streams that people should have tuned in more for. I mean, bloody hell, it's an Indian team that is guaranteed to qualify a slot in Southeast Asia. You don't see that very often. I think a lot more people should have tuned in, but I also think that not a lot of people knew that this was happening, and as a result, they didn't tune in for the stream. ESL,
but it was some
knows.
quality Dota, right? Like,
oh yeah, it
really showing up.
Yep. Micro.
Yeah, did Micro just walk up?
Yeah, he just walked up casually, said hi, dropped his items, and went back.
Okay.
But
a little bit of preempt to get things started. Another interesting switch on the side of Alpha is that Blizzard was playing the 5 position, but now he's playing the safe lane Dead Prophet.
Well, that's pretty interesting.
And we're
sure
also seeing a safe lane about it.
And we're seeing a mid faceless void. What am I witnessing? Like, what's going on?
I don't know. Even then, unconventional lanes. We're seeing an aggressive tri lane coming out from Alpha in the off lane.
Oh man, this is such a bad matchup for the faceless void because Terrorblade just kind of wrecks the faceless void with the meta. Not much he can. And look at, lovely. Sand King, he just gets Sandstorm level 1, comes in, and he's just gonna Sandstorm the faceless void.
Yeah, TP's coming into the mid lane. It is hidden. Tiltman is dropping low. Butter does only have the Sandstorm, but there's the Metamorphosis. Tiltman put his first skill point into time lock. Sure, he's got all that gold coming in from the bounty runes, but he's gonna have to ferry out a salve and pop it soon and be a little careful in this mid lane.
Absolutely. I mean, I have no clue why he would go for the Bash level 1. I think the Time Walk was a much better choice because it takes some harass damage, you just Time Walk back and wait for the creep wave to come under his tower and farm away. I think that's how you want to play this mashup as the Faceless Void, because if you stand too close to the creeps, you're gonna take a lot of harass damage from Micro. And look at this, every single time he's gonna come up to the creep wave, he's gonna take 2 right clicks to the face, and that's nearly 100 HP gone.
Yeah, I think when you're running such an unconventional mid lane, the one that needs EXP more is the Void, because he wants to get that fast level 6 and get that Chronosphere. Micro is actually not too bothered that he's missing out on EXP. In fact, he's benefiting a lot more. And if you look at the 2 supports, the best that the Earthshaker can do until Void gets his Chronosphere is just drop a defensive Fissure. There really isn't any kill potential on this Terrorblade, but Butter can just do so much more on the Sand King. I think when you run such unconventional mid heroes, you gotta be really careful as to what supports you pick up. And this Earthshaker can't really do too much. He feels really useless for the first couple of minutes, and he's got to try and find purpose on the bottom lane. There is kill potential here. It's not an easy kill by any means.
They can go for the Winter Wyvern, to be honest, but the add-on with the shield is gonna make it a bit difficult for them.
Yeah, they can. They've got damage over time, they've got the bow, and Hidden just chilling with that Invis rune. Helm, he's got to be careful. He hasn't got the Arctic Burn for a while. They dropped the Fissure, they've got the Wild Axes. There's the Euphoric Shield that you spoke of, but the damage coming through. Danny, with the Cask and the Maldic, secures first blood here.
Yeah, top lane, Darshan is just destroying this safe lane Death Prophet by a big margin. He's sitting at 10 for 5 and Blizzard is sitting at 7 to 2. This is not the matchup you want if you're the Death Prophet. You want to have a good lane so that you can transition into a seamless mid game where you just Exorcism, take team fights, take towers. Oh, bottom lane though, sort of.
I'm looking at mid as well, where, well, both the Terrorblade and the Void, they're just trading hits. and this isn't a lane where anyone should die. But I was kind of expecting a freak accident that take place at mid, but it's at bottom, where
Yep.
I don't know.
I mean,
They
clowny stuff is happening. The Abaddon is diving a tier 1 tower for God knows who. I think he died for the Witch Doctor, but now he's in a precarious position and he's most likely gonna fall.
he's got 5 stitches. He can buy out those boots of speed. I don't know if he's keeping track of the cooldowns, but I think he can just TP out.
Yeah, he probably knows that there's no fissure, so he is most likely
He can
gonna
just
try
pop
that.
the stick charges, TP out.
Yeah, he can just TP out, he doesn't even have to pop the stick. I don't think the right clicks. No, never mind. Beastmaster has access in 2 seconds, so
Exactly.
with that he's gonna be able to find the kill, but he has to pop the wand if he wants to survive. But
Yeah.
let's talk a bit about the Sand King's itemization. He went for 9 tangos as his starting items. And I have absolutely no clue why. I think he was anticipating a lot of trading hits, but so far I don't think buying an enormous amount of tangos on a position 4 hero like Sand King is the right way to go. He did find the bounty runes, and that sort of helped him get his early boots, but
Yeah.
buying 9 tangos is rather an ice thing to do. I remember when he used to play off lane.
I
he used
think
to just-
what Butter was expecting was that he was going to go up versus the Beastmaster. The Beastmaster trades better than you, so I'm just going to come to lane with a bunch of tangos. He also bought a Stout Shield, if I'm not mistaken,
Yep.
early on.
he did,
So
he did.
he itemized for the Beastmaster. I think it's okay. I think, irrespective, he's doing his job.
I think the plan though was not really to trade because this Abaddon is the one who's the core here, not the Sand King. So buying so many
Right.
tangos might not be justified. Anyway, we're gonna see if it pays or if it doesn't eventually. I mean, these are tangos, right? They're gonna pay you throughout the early game, but is it worth investing? I don't know, 270 gold? Maybe, maybe not.
Yeah. If nothing else, you distribute them. The Abaddon sure needs some tangos. I'm keeping my eyes again peeled for mid bear.
Yeah.
I know Tabblade versus Void. I'm just hoping no one does anything silly. Tiltman doesn't have the time walk. I'm gonna move towards bottom and yeah, the Abaddon did manage to TP out.
Well, Micro has the meta.
No,
can
wait, he
actually
did
go
TP
for-
out. Sort of just walked out of
Okay.
there.
Never mind then.
But yeah, we
Uh,
might probably see a early Helm of the Dominator coming in Sorab. And they're gonna start applying pressure down bottom.
Yeah, Tiltman. Mid lane. I think Tiltman's
Yeah,
dead.
down mid. What the hell?
Yeah, Tiltman, he did have the time walk, but Micro got the positioning advantage there. Could have
Yeah,
gone earlier
this-
as well, but he didn't keep
this is
track
just
of
silly.
that one.
I
Yeah,
think
it's just
for
top lane.
the bottom lane, yeah. Except for the bottom lane, the top lane and the mid lane aren't lanes where people should be dying
Yep.
just by themselves. But Micro's finding a solo kill on the Void here, and Alpha is not going to be too pleased about that.
I
Either
agree.
way, it is a mid Void. He can cover. He's got the mid lane all to himself, and he's still really useful with his Kronos here.
Yeah, but I'm a little concerned for this Void because he's gonna need those sort of items like the Mask of Madness if that's what he decides to go for, the Battle Fury, to farm during the downtime of Chronos here, because that's really when Buriza are gonna look to fight. Hopefully
Yeah.
you're gonna have your Sand King blink by 14-15 minutes. It's optimistic, but it's possible this game because Butter has gone for that slightly greedy Sandstorm build, so he most certainly can get that farm if he gets a bunch of bounty runes.
Yeah.
And once you have that blink dagger, you're just gonna punish the Faceless Warrior every single time after he's popped his Chronosphere. You gather a bunch
Right.
of heroes, you go where this Void is farming, and you just kick him to the curb.
I think one of the important things when you heroes like the Sand King and the Earthshaker is finding that balance between getting something done in the lane and finding your own farm. And Butter, he is finding his farm. He's, I mean, he's just one CS behind the Beastmaster. And even though some of those might be ancients, he's doing his bit. He's EXP as well. So all in all, a good start here for Team Buriza. And I wasn't even looking at the net worth advantage, and this net worth advantage that you're looking at the 2000 goal lead that the Radiant are working with, it's really not because of the kills. It's more so because Alpha just
They have the
really
better
losing their
lanes.
lanes.
Yep. You against an Abaddon, and most of the times is gonna win his lane if he's against a duel versus duel lane situation.
Right.
Micro has a free time against the Void. The Void doesn't really threaten the Terrorblade. And top lane as well, the Death Prophet doesn't have the potential to harass or zone the Omni Knight out really, because you have Purification, you have Ward Charges, you have Repel. Like, you don't really die here.
And there's really no kill potential on Darshan until there's a lot of lockdown, or until the Death Prophet puts a point in the silence. Till then, there's not much that Alpha can do. There's no kill potential made until Tiltman gets Chrono and probably something like an early Dreads, but there's kill potential down bottom, where the Witch Doctor ends up falling.
I was watching
and
the
Buriza,
well,
they're just stomping all over their opponents.
Earthshaker might actually die here. Okay, never mind.
Oh, yeah.
He's gonna come from the Witch Doctor. Thing is, this Earthshaker pickup is really not gonna work out that well for them because they don't have any sort of kill
might
potential.
still die. He's got the Fisher, they have the cask. Darshan is okay. Mid lane, meanwhile, Butter just lurking behind the tier 1 and Tiltman. I mean, he either ends up falling or he might lose his tier 1 as well.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely gonna lose his tier 1. Question is, can he get the deny off?
Yeah,
he has a Chronosphere.
Tiltman might still die. The Metamorphosis is still available. Tiltman walks ahead, forgets the fact that Butter was in position to get off a Burrow Strike, and even with that level 2 Burrow Strike, Butter putting in some real work.
Yeah, I mean, that was extremely ambitious there, by the way, to say the least. He walks in. He doesn't time walk. He walks in, tries to get the Chronosphere
without time walk,
and
ends up dying.
Yeah. I said he doesn't have time walk. And this Earthshaker pick as well. I mean, you really want to be fighting and sort of hoping that this Earthshaker can be of some use in the early game. Maybe set up a kill. Fissure is a great spell, but it needs to be used very, very well in order to set up kills. The problem is, though, on the side of Buriza, literally no one is gankable. Maybe the Winter Wyvern if they commit multiple heroes, but even then it's a hard kill.
Folks are gankable, but not with the Void. The Void and an Earthshaker can't really gank. Mid, the bottom lane, the Beastmaster, he's struggling because it is an Abaddon. He's got plenty of sustain, and up top the Omni Knight isn't going to be falling anytime soon.
I mean, exactly.
If this was something like a Queen of Pain mid, there'd be kill potential on that dive lane. A Fisher could set up for a kill, but what does a Void do?
I mean, there's so many bad things for Void this game. Even if he does pop the Chronosphere, he can only focus one target, and that's where Winter Wyvern comes in. He comes in, drops the Cold Embrace on one person, and suddenly your Chronosphere is useless.
Right.
If you look at the lineup of Alpha, they don't have that kind of follow-up inside the Chronosphere apart from the Death Ward. And even Death Ward is physical damage, so Cold Embrace is going to protect you from that. That's why I really like this Winter Wyvern pick. It's actually worked out for them.
Yeah. Up top, Darshan is just running down Blizzard. Blizzard should recognize the fact he can just TP out of here, but he's going to commit the exorcism, and Darshan with those face boots might just run away. The Spit Siphon slowing down Darshan. He's got Implication. The Crypt Swarm is there. Blizzard wants his kill. He's committed all his Spirit Siphon charges, and he's going to end up finding it. Exorcism committed. Alpha find the second kill of the game. But look at this. Buriza, they're grouping up for bottom.
I mean, yeah, they're making use of every single Terrorblade cooldown they have. And I think what Buriza are trying to do here is make this a single core lineup with the Terrorblade, so that they can just protect him and they can constantly push. Like, every single time meta is up, you group up, get towers, don't give any breathing room to the side of Alpha Esports. And because you won your lanes, there's not much that they can do.
Right.
Micro gonna finish his Dragon Lance up pretty soon as well, so he's gonna be able to attack outside the Chronosphere range. If he doesn't get Chrono, that is. That's
well,
like, none of these cores are gankable on the side of Buriza. They're not gonna die. With these heroes, certainly not. Side of Alpha.
Yeah. You're gonna need a silence, you're gonna need a pick if you want to deal with the Abaddon. I don't know. So many conditions for Alpha to get it if they want to win a team fight here.
And like Buriza's lineup is just much easier to execute as well, right? You just have the Terrorblade, you need to pop your meta and hit buildings, make sure the Terrorblade lives and you win the game. On the side of Alpha though, there are so many factors that you have to work with. First you need to make sure that the Abaddon does not have its shield, so your Raw does not get dispelled. Then you need to make sure that the Winter Wyvern is dead, so that the Chronosphere is actually of some use and Winter Wyvern doesn't just go and place the person getting gone on. Then you also need to make sure that none of your heroes get bursted down at the start of the team fight, which is very likely to happen, especially when there's a Sand King against you in the opposition team.
Yeah.
And then you also need to count for the Omni Knight, who can just drop a Guardian Angel and render that Chronosphere.
You said the only thing to follow up that Chronosphere is a dead bot. You also got the Exorcism.
It's not that much, to be honest. In
No,
this stage of
but
game,
the problem is
lots of
everything
heals.
coming in that Chronosphere is physical, right? The
Yep.
Exorcism also physical damage, and
I'm not sure
all it
Golden
takes is
Brace
one
blocks
Guardian
it,
Angel.
Yeah. Guardian Angel does block Exorcism, right?
Exactly.
I think it does.
So you have catch the Omni Knight in the Chrono. I mean,
Yep.
that's the only part I've figured out
And
so
look
far.
at this, Alpha gonna try to fight this, but they all gonna end up losing because
But
none of
look
them
at
have
shit,
levels.
just drops the repel, runs in, they've got the reflection as well, the purification does work, and there's that Winter's Curse. Tiltman kills his own teammate, gets controlled by the Sand King, held in place with the Bounce Strike, there's that Guardian Angel, and suddenly it's Alpha on the run. A buyback coming up from the Earthshaker, Rogue committed onto the Omni Knight. They've got that Exorcism, but there's the save. The Euphoric Shield and the Cold Embrace keeping Darshin healthy. Another Spirit Siphon while off to the side, Saurabh's gone in. A Bounce Strike onto the Earthshaker, who's bought back to stay alive in this fight, and he's gonna end up falling along with the Dead Prophet. Team Buriza just running ham. Tiltman commits the Chronosphere, gets squad done. Butter looking for the two-man impale, doesn't quite find it, but they find the Beastmaster, they find the Void as well, and Dami
Oh no, this
sent
Witch
back to his own
Doctor.
fountain.
He's not even gonna
Fountain
make it back to
diving
his own
12 minute
fountain.
in.
Oh god. Yeah, he ends up living.
This is an SEA pub, but Team Buriza, I think, got what they want. They got a tier 2 and they got a lot more as well.
Yeah, I think this has to be the most one-sided game I've seen in the history of Dota for a long time. Especially getting stopped like this. You have all your spells, but really, what the hell are you gonna do? There are so many heals, so many saves, so many dispels, so many ways of counter initiation that you can't actually fight with the lineup of Buriza.
Right.
I just
think,
don't see how they win. Alpha Esports, their win condition at this moment. Let's try and think of that. How do you think they win this game?
So, before we get into win condition, I think the biggest factor why it's so one-sided is the draft.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, they
Of late, Indian teams have been drafting well, and I don't want to take away any credit from Buriza, but this is a bad draft coming in from Alpha.
I agree. This draft, I have no clue why they would pick a faceless
Even then,
squad
I
instead
mean,
and
think about it, Floki. Why send the Void mid? Why can't you just send Dead Prophet mid?
exactly like that part made absolutely no sense to me. Like, why the hell would the Death Prophet stay top against an Omni Knight, a matchup that she never wins, or at best draws even in, instead of going mid against Terrorblade?
She's got net worth, right? She's done okay.
I mean, she's got net worth, but the TV would have had much lower net worth if she was mid at the time.
Exactly.
So that's
And
something that...
you know what? Think about it. If you had the Dead Prophet mid, you actually had a shot at killing the TV with the Earthshaker. You put the Void mid.
Void doesn't do anything. All he does is give you, I don't know how much damage. He gives you like 50 damage per right click. Oh, Butter. He's just sandstorming, and supports don't even have money for detection at this point in the game.
They do.
They do.
They've got a sentry. Butter's gonna turn it around. The Winter's Curse is there. They commit the road on the Sand King. And at the end of it all, TTFU, he's not gonna find what he's looking for. The Maldic, the Enchanter, and they want the Sand King. They'll get him.
Well, they
But
get
it
the
has
Sand
been
King,
costly.
they lost a Void and a Witch Doctor for the Sand King. That's
Wait,
not good.
what? Did Witch Doctor die?
Witch Doctor died just right next. I mean, Winter Wyvern got him with a Splinter Blast, right?
Okay.
And the Void died as well. So, I mean, you got a Sand King, but is it really worth it? I don't think so, man.
Right.
Oh boy. I sort of feel bad for the lineup of Alpha Esports because genuinely there was a chance that they could have won this game. but signing the Death Prophet top. And
I don't know. I
Faceless
think
Void
even
mid.
if they sent the Dead Prophet mid, they might have done better in one lane. Definitely sending the Void mid was a questionable decision. But I think the draft itself is heavily skewed in favor of Team Buriza.
Yeah, I agree.
And I think I really like what Team Buriza are running here. They're experimenting. They're running some sort of, I don't know. I've played drafts like this back in Dota 1, where we pick IO and Baron and everybody gets healed for the rest of their life. It's like healthcare that America never promised. I mean, always promised but never delivered. But Alpha, they just drafted their own little kid. It doesn't work. I mean, come on, all of it is physical. One Guardian Angel is going to take care of that. Plus the laning. Plus ending the Void mid.
And on top of that, like, the Earthshaker, instead of, I mean, I don't want to hang on to mistakes for too long, but I'm just gonna say this one little thing, then keep quiet. The Earthshaker, instead of going out trying to set up kills, should have either stayed at the bottom lane and set up kills, or gone top and just started pulling. Because now he's in this position where he doesn't have Arcane Boots or Blink Dagger, and he's basically not gonna do anything up until he has his Blink.
Yeah, I think as a 4 position, you gotta have this is a like focus where you say that, guys, this is the one lane that needs me and this is the lane I'm going to win. It's not worth it just visiting all lanes, dropping a Fissure here and there and getting nothing done.
Yeah, I mean, they don't even care about that. Even if you drop a Fissure mid, maybe he doesn't care about that. He has a lot of base
Exactly.
HP
I think you have to read your draft. You got to read the enemy's draft, and as a 4 position, take a call that, guys, I can't move mid and get anything done until Void gets Chrono and TB is badly underfarmed and I have Echo Slam, because that's what it's going to take to kill a TB. Or it's going to take a +1 to make a rotation if they want to kill a TB. I think about it like this: if they wanted to get that TB, it would take a smoke rotation from both the Earthshaker and the Witch Doctor.
Yeah, and I think possibly even the Death Prophet, because there's the chance that you just use the Sunder.
He gets the Sunder off? Yeah. So you gotta time that Fissure just after the Chrono. You gotta
chain your spells.
Line up your spells properly so that he doesn't get the Sunder off. And maybe with Echo Slam and Chrono, you can possibly burst them down.
Yeah, I mean, even if they do that, it's like 2 spells committed for the TB, and if he hasn't popped his meta, he's gonna just laugh at your face and come back from the grave and take it up.
Saurabh, he's already laughing at their faces. He's running into the midst of 5 heroes. He's got the border time. He's gonna heal up by the purification, and that purification, that's gonna bring down Tiltman. Saurabh still running, not respecting that exorcism, has the radiance, wants to bring down Blizzard. Blizzard has the Yule Scepter, but it's cute. They've got the burst damage with the burrow and the purification, and Team Buriza, I don't know how we stop them. I don't think Alpha should really take this too hard on themselves. Because I think this was a game that was lost in the draft and lost in the lanes to some extent. This is something that can be looked at and fixed. It isn't that they're bad players.
Yeah,
it isn't that, I think bad playing takes time to get, it takes time to become mechanically better, but a drafting issue can be fixed, and I'm sure Team Alpha are going to address this, but for now, they want to fight. They've got the Chrono, they've got the Mask of Madness with the Hezbollah. Channeling up the epicenter, goes in the Echo Slam, clips a bunch, but Saurabh and Micro don't care. They've got the heals coming out from the Omni Knight. They'll turn, they'll bring down the Earthshaker. Quick throw coming out on the Abaddon, and Saurabh, his border type down, he might end up falling, but the Winter's Curse is there. It's a Witch Doctor pounding away on the Beastmaster, and the Beastmaster will survive, but Saurabh finally ends up falling. And Alpha, could they possibly look to turn things around here? Micro got the Sunder, will Sunder the Blizzard Death Prophet, but he got a pause on our hands.
Man, the Chronosphere was great, but the Winter's Wyvern safe came in with the Cold's Embrace. The follow-up Earthshaker Echo Slam was great too, but then there's just so much sustain on the side of Buriza. It's really hard to bring down any of the heroes. They got the Abaddon. I don't think they're gonna get anything else though.
I think as long as there's alive with a Blink and a Burrow Strike, and he prioritizes who he goes on in this engagement, I think Team Buriza are going to be okay, because Micro's got the Sunder off on Blizzard. I think Team Buriza, they're going to look at this fight in third person, try and get a feel of the fight. They're going to first bring down Tiltman with the Splinter Blast. They'll bring him down, they move on to TTFU, And look at that damage with the Purification. Blizzard being chased next. He's got a Yule Scepter coming off cooldown. He's got the face boots as well. He's run towards the Shrine. He's snagged it. But the damage from Buriza might just be a bit too much. Well, he tried his best.
He did. Brownie points to Alpha Esports for trying, to be honest, at this point.
Yeah.
Any other team would have just given up. I really respect their effort and commend their perseverance in this game.
Absolutely. They've still the fight in them, but the problem is they're missing all those big ticket ultimates. And without the Exorcism, Chronosphere, Deathward, Primal Roar, or Echo Slam, how do they win a team fight here? Team Buriza with a 16,000 net worth advantage are knocking on a lane up here. They haven't got the Metamorphosis on Micro. That's the good news, but Saurabh's back. And
Tiltman has a Chronosphere in another 50 seconds, so he can if you go in.
50
But
seconds.
Yeah, it's a bit of a top order. I agree.
I mean, if he goes in for the next set of barracks, right? I think these barracks are done for. They haven't got the glyph either.
They don't have meta for another 20 seconds, so okay, they will still get this tower. I mean, this rack stuff.
Yeah, look at Saurabh. Reflection plus Radiance.
I mean, this is
think
so hard to play.
Only saving, I mean, one of the big saving graces for Alpha in that small fight over there was the cast range on Purification.
Yeah,
I think Saurabh just likes to run in, and Shrimp can't really get the Purification from that far out.
Yep.
So Saurabh might be putting himself in danger if he just dives a bit deep and Darshan isn't there to follow him up. But yeah, the patch is at least helping Alpha a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. Still have comeback mechanics in this patch, and I think this patch even prioritizes late game a lot more.
Absolutely, it does. But they've got to win this fight. They want to defend this lane of barracks. Tiltman goes in, drops the chrono. It does catch Micro. His illusions outside. But the cold embrace is there. Netbot not doing too much. As Saurabh pops the borrow time, heals up. Hidden. Gets a huge echo slam. The roar upon the Abaddon. But there's the Guardian Angel and the Witness Curse. It's a Beastmaster and the Earthshaker pounding away on Tiltman. But Tiltman has the time walk. He's going to get away. The Net Prophet not so fortunate. 2-man power strike coming out. They are controlling 2 buybacks coming out from the side of Alpha. But they've lost their Beastmaster. And the Net Prophet without Exorcism can't really do too much. Once again, Chronosphere, Primal Rogue, Exorcism, and Echo Slam.
Good game.
Not netting them a kill. Alpha will tap out here.
Oh well. Kudos to Alpha for trying, man. I mean, you can take the man out of the fight, but you can't take the fight out of the man. And they showed a really good example of that. I commend their efforts in all honesty. I appreciate them sticking around and trying to turn the game.
Absolutely. They gave it their all until the very end. Is still a lot of turnaround potential in that Chronosphere, and it did net them that kill on Saurabh near the mid tier 3 in the mid lane of barracks. But that's about it as far as the Dota 2 broadcast is concerned for the day. You can find us on our social media at facebook.com/bwaycasting and facebook.com/FlokiDota.
That's me.
Yeah.
Loki.
Oh, that's you. Oh, okay. Before I throw it over to Apil, Adi, I think you've got a word for this when it happens in CSGO. It's called a spanking, and this is what a spanking in Dota 2 looks like. Over to you, Angie and Adi, to take this one and break it through.
Thank you, Vivek. So there indeed, now I know what a spanking in Dota 2 looks like. Buriza making quick work of Alpha Esports. And nobody even reached level 15 there. That's how quick that game was.
Okay. So before I start the analysis for this game, I first of all, I would just like to say, Buriza very well played. I mean, you guys have pulled out a draft that I haven't really seen as of now in the ESL India Premiership. We kind of brought back memories of in Dota when, like how Vivek mentioned, you know, you just all want to just keep your HP going and see to it that that is going to win you the game. And I think that is the kind of drafting we should see more often in the ESL India Premiership. But breaking down the game, I mean, first and foremost, sending the Void mid by Alpha Esports, it made no sense to me because your Death Prophet is your mid and she fares beautifully.
You even said the pickup didn't make sense as well, right? Just the Void.
Yeah, the Void. I mean, it could make sense if you have everybody sinking into the same thing, because what does Void basically do at level 6? He just has a chrono that holds people for a while. He doesn't have the damage. He doesn't have anything to kind of back him up apart from the chrono. Now, if you send him mid, the problem that you face is that as soon as he hits level 6, he needs to go and start killing people on the map. But when your own team is suffering, how do you take that initiative forward? And I think the Death Prophet would have fared much better for them in the mid lane against the Terrorblade. She can do a lot of damage. So you could have made sure that maybe the TB wouldn't have got that much farm, maybe held the lane better. But when it's a carry versus carry in the mid lane, it works for Team Buriza because TB hitting level 6 is beautiful. I mean, he can just start taking down towers. He has a Sunder that if someone tries to engage on him, he has his team for backup. And on the top lane, we saw that Darshan, who was on the Omni Knight, was kind of wrecking the lane against the Death Prophet. And he didn't really seem to care about, whether the DP is carry or she's trying to play carry or what it was. And that kind of is where everything just started going wrong for Alpha. Their offlane didn't, again, make much sense to me. I mean, most of the stuff they did, I think they just felt that they wanted to try out something else. But the thing about the way Team Buriza played is that they just made sure that no matter what came to them, their only objective was, we're going to keep each of our teammates alive, and at the end of the day, we're going to see to it that a Terrorblade reaches that racks within 19 minutes. And that's basically what Buriza did, and I think they fared pretty well for themselves. I think the synchronizing between all the 5 players, I couldn't really choose an MVP, like I told you, because they all played their part well. I think that boot camp's going brilliant. But Alpha got it, I still cannot understand what they were aiming for, because if they were aiming for a Void Chrono with a Witch Doctor ulti coming in for them, good idea. Beastmaster works well for them, but the Earthshaker can't really use an Echo Slam in a chrono. He's just going to get stuck in it. No. He didn't even get to get his Blink Dagger mostly, I think. And you have to make sure that when you pick up a hero like Void and you're sending him mid, your game plan is very, very strong. Otherwise, I would have even chosen a Lycan over the Void in this kind of game. Yeah. But I think Alpha Esports has come into this tournament to learn a lot, and they're getting to play against some really amazing teams who are part of the Masters League, and they're brilliant teams. So I think it's more of a learning experience for them.
Okay, so there you have it. Alpha Esports, even Vivek said that, in fact, that they need to work on their drafting. So yeah, that's it from us for today. This is the ESL India Premiership, sponsored by Omen by HP, HyperX, Intel, and brought to you by Nodwin Gaming. Hit that subscribe button, hit that bell icon so that you can catch us every single day with some great Clash Royale, Counter-Strike, and Dota action. But that's it from us today. Good night and be well.